It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune. I'm your host Ben. Now let's dive right in. So Bitcoin getting rejected off of the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. This is going to be some of the strongest resistance that Bitcoin will face. It has not been under the 200 moving average in a very long time, since April of 2020 last year. That's a lot of data. So that means that is really going to be strong resistance or strong support. And it seems like it may be strong resistance. Now this little curl over I don't like to see either, because usually it ends up with a drop. So I've been skeptical of Bitcoin. I'm still skeptical, and this chart pattern is not making me feel much better about it. Bitcoin needs to rebound here very soon and get over this 200-day moving average. If not, the 20 EMA could cross to the downside, and then Bitcoin will be extremely bearish, and we could see it back down to 30, maybe 25, maybe even 20. On the RSI, it's still pretty low, but that just shows there's not a lot of people buying into Bitcoin right now after the big sell-off. However, Ether is above the 200, above the 100, and right below the 50 EMA. So it is kind of curling the same as Bitcoin, but it's holding up a lot better on this daily chart, and it's about in the same area on the RSI. So if buying really starts coming in, we could see Ether continue on its run. It does not look near as bearish as Bitcoin. It still has to crack through the 100 and the 200 day, where Bitcoin is already under that. So as long as the 20-day can stay up here and it doesn't cross over the 50, I think Ether will make a bullish move. You look at it on the 4-hour, Ether is not that far from doing a crossover of the 50 and then possibly the 200 and 100. You can see right here where Ether got hung up at the 200 and 100 together. And that is very, very strong resistance, because you have both of the longest EMAs on here together. So this could end up being a bearish move on Ethereum, or we might see a crossover over all three of those EMAs, which could lead to a very big spike. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin and see if it drags the market down again. But I'm kind of expecting Ether to start pulling ahead and bringing the market with it, and we could see Bitcoin just kind of be quiet for a while. Scale, which just went on a massive run yesterday and tried to consolidate some on the 4-hour here. You can see it's pulled back, little sell-off, but right there, look where we're holding at. 50 cents. 200-day moving average is there. I said that yesterday. If we did pull back, I think we would see it stop at 50 cents. And this 20 days is slowly making its way up, just creeping. And as long as Scale can hold above 50 cents, we're going to see a 20 crossover on the 200, and that will lead to a pretty nice rip. So I still like Scale a lot. Hopefully this time, if Bitcoin does drop anymore, it won't drag the rest of the market. It very well could. We've not seen any evidence that it won't. I'm purely speculating when I'm saying that Ethereum might take the wheel and start driving the crypto bus to profit town. And if that is the case, Scale is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain from my understanding, and it wants to help scale up other blockchains and networks on the Ethereum blockchain. So if Ethereum goes up, I would expect that Scale will continue as well. Polygon MATIC was trying to make its way up, but could not quite make it. It's in a bit of a downtrend here. We can draw this downtrend right across, and you'll be able to see that downtrend pretty clearly. But on the 4-hour, MATIC is still bullish. It is above the 20-day. It dropped earlier and crossed back over, so it just now became bullish again. I think we're just consolidating. As you can see, we're starting to go lower on the RSI, but with this still being bullish on the 4-hour and getting lower on the RSI, buyers are going to come back into this. So if it can hold in these areas right around 2, I think we'll see it make its new highs here maybe sometime this weekend. It's a possibility. So the top gainer on the day right now currently is Helium HNT. I don't know anything about this token, but it seems to have been on a nice bull run on the daily chart, had a little pullback with Bitcoin, but bounced off that 200-day and has since broke over all the indicators again, is now bullish once again. I would be a little cautious with this pattern because even though this little wick up here is higher than this one, this still could be a head and shoulders. It just might not be a very big head, because this would be a shoulder and this could be considered a head, and then this would be another shoulder. But with it being bullish and it's holding up right now around the $17 area, I think it could try to push for some new highs very soon. I did look into the circulating supply, and it has about 213 million coins in supply, which means that's not that many. Yeah, so actually on the 4 hour you can see it just crossed over all three MAs at once, and that is a good bullish sign. So even though this is not one that's on Coinbase Pro, if you're on one of the decentralized exchanges, or you use Uniswap or SushiSwap or any of the swapping exchanges, you may be able to find it on there, but I am not sure because I've not seen it on any of the apps that I use. So let me know in the comments below if you're in Helium, or let me know if you know about Helium and where you can find it at. Doge still looking bad. Like I was saying yesterday, I don't like the way Doge looks. It is just kind of riding down the 20-day at this point. Just all indicators are pointing into the downward direction. So unless something drastic happens soon, maybe Elon tweets something about how he loves Dogecoin again, that could get this going. But at the moment, with no news on it or any hype really, it just looks like it's gonna die off. ADA Cardano kind of falling over here, kind of crumbling over, but it is hitting the 200-day right now on the 4-hour chart. So if it holds up here, it'd be good to go for another move. If it cracks below that 200-day, then I would expect Cardano to drop. But I'm pretty bullish on Cardano, and I'm holding a little bit of it at the moment, because on the daily chart we are still right above all indicators, kind of just hanging on right there on the 20-day, but we'll see what it does through the next 12 hours. So other than that, there's not too much going on in the crypto markets. Even Helium, being the top gainer of the day, is only up like 16 to 20%, which is a good gain, but not the normal gains we see in the crypto market when it's hot. We're just kind of in a lull right now while Bitcoin kind of figures out where it's going to go, and I think there's a lot of investors on the sideline with their money waiting to see, because they're afraid to get in altcoins. If Bitcoin drops again, it'll drag the altcoins down, theoretically, and we've seen that repeat many times. So now I'm going to pull up the chart for the SPY. This is the S&P 500 Trust. This is kind of a basket of stocks that mirrored the Dow Jones and the overall sentiment of the market, the stock market. The reason why I'm looking at it in this crypto video is because when the stock market drops, cryptocurrencies seem to drop too. There's been several correlations where that has happened. It happened back at the start of COVID, and it's happened a few other times in the small drops and dips that the SPY has been having recently. I am very bearish on the U.S. stock market. I am expecting some type of correction here very soon. It's way off of all the indicators. You can see the 200-day is way down here. You can see right here, though, here's the biggest thing I want to point out. Volume is starting to go out of the stock market. You can see back here on our way up, we had pretty nice big buying volume burst, a couple of little selling bursts in between there. Then some nice thick buying through there. But you can see these volume bars are getting lower and lower. They're getting smaller and smaller. On the other hand, gold, as you can see, is pushing up above all indicators, very bullish at the moment. And you're going to see the same thing on silver. So that's showing me that money is leaving the stock market and going into gold and silver. Some money could be going into cryptos. That's why we could be seeing a little rebound that we've been seeing. But all of this together just has me very skeptical of all the markets except silver and gold. But that's it for today's video. If you have any coins that you'd like me to cover that I'm not currently covering, throw it in the comments below. I appreciate everybody joining me. As always, stay safe out there. Until next time.